Donald Trump had what's being described as a midnight meltdown on Truth Social, and it resulted in Team Harris asking the rhetorical and biting question, is he okay? And I have the full story for you next. Donald Trump's posts on his own social media platform read like a journal that shows what triggers him each day. It's a revealing checklist that he turns into a hit list each night before he goes to sleep. Sorry for the visual, but imagine you're Melania or Stormy Daniels patiently waiting for your Donald, but he's pacing anxiously with Truth Social on his phone in one hand and his checklist in the other. He's muttering to himself things like, call George Clooney a fake movie actor, call Kamala Harris Lion Kamala, and say that tampon thing about Tim Walz. And last night, he let his hurt feelings fly by slinging some of his deranged dirt at Kamala, and her team fired back. I have that for you in just a few seconds, but first some context on how she got under his skin before he got under his sheets. This latest spat is about their respective medical conditions and releasing records. So is this a fair fight, and does Donald Trump have a leg and bone-spurred foot to stand on? Let's have a look with this MSNBC video. It is both funny and serious as a heart attack.
With just 24 days until Election Day, Vice President Harris is set to release a report on her medical history today. A senior Harris aide says the report will show she's physically and mentally fit to serve as president. And by making this public, the Harris team hopes that it underscores Donald Trump's lack of transparency, let's just say, when it comes to his health. On the campaign trail, Trump rambles through speeches, as the New York Times puts it, quote, Trump has seemed confused, forgetful, incoherent, or even just disconnected from reality lately. In these final weeks of the campaign, the contrast could not be more clear.
Has refused to do so. He's had, doctors sort of put together a piece of paper with a whole lot of BS on it about the man weighing 215 pounds, looking like Wally the Walrus. But okay, we'll set that aside. The New York Times, though, reports if he wins, Trump could enter the Oval Office with an array of potentially worrisome issues, medical experts say. Cardiac risk factors, possible after effects from the July assassination attempt, and the cognitive decline that naturally comes with an age, among other things. The man is old as dirt. He's the oldest man to ever run for president, and yet the country doesn't seem to care that he doesn't release his health records, that we have no idea what's going on in that little brain of his. Maybe he had brain worms like Robert F. Kennedy Jr. We don't know.
He said the country doesn't seem to care. Those who share Trump's white nationalistic values appears to be very forgiving of things like his misogyny, his divisiveness, and his declining cognitive health. And now for the reveal. Here's the after midnight Trump post that set up the Harris campaign to challenge him on his condition. Trump wrote, I believe it is very important that Kamala Harris pass a test on cognitive stamina and agility. Her actions have led many to believe that there could be something very wrong with her. Even 60 Minutes and CBS, in order to protect Lion Kamala, illegally and unscrupulously replaced an answer she had given, which was totally bonkers, with another answer that had nothing to do with the question asked. Also, she is slow and lethargic in answering even the easiest of questions. We just went through almost 4 years of that. We shouldn't have to do it again. The irony of Trump using the word bonkers on someone else is bonkers. And it was Harris campaign spokesman Ian Sams who got to return the volley with a post on X that read, Trump post at 1:12 a.m. that VP Harris must take a cognitive test as he refuses to release his medical records, sit with 60 Minutes, or debate her again, instead retreating solely to rambling rallies where he's increasingly making no sense. Is he okay? Of course, the question is rhetorical, and of course, Donald Trump is not okay. And these weird glitches we've been seeing from him on the campaign trail, these things that may be signaling cognitive decline, that's layered on top of his existing narcissistic personality disorder. A 78-year-old person accusing a 59-year-old person to be less cognitively fit is such a bizarre position to attack from. It defies logic and common sense. But what is common about people with narcissistic personality disorder is they will often accuse a perceived adversary of the very thing they are guilty of. It's called projection. By turning a narrative around, they can create doubt and confusion in a manic effort to gain leverage. Now, I don't have a medical degree, but I do have a very advanced degree in stating the obvious. And with my great self-appointed superpower comes great responsibility, and I declare Donald J. Trump physically, cognitively, and emotionally unfit for office. And a prescription that includes lots of R&R awaits him on November 5th.